So historical events are happening all around us in a really big and scary way, but what if I just shared all the little silly things that I've been liking this summer? I haven't made a YouTube video in a few months and I did not think that anyone gave a shit if I lived or died, but I got a few sweet messages saying that people were missing me over on here, which I am honored about because I have been missing making YouTube videos and connecting with the little community that I built on here. So I wanted to make a little video about things that I've been loving. Gonna make a video that was gonna be like advice and recommendations with the caveat that I don't know anything, but I kind of wanted to hold off on that. There's like nothing going on in here. Anyway, this video is just gonna be like things that I've been liking, my summer favorites, if you will. And without further ado, let's get into it. I'm really articulate today. So the first thing that I have to share, I found it at the Goodwill bins and you would have seen it on my Instagram or TikTok or even on here in my YouTube shorts. And I keep posting about it, but like you'd be posting about it too if you find it at the Goodwill bins. And it is this Betsey Johnson Y2K fruit dress in the milkmaid silhouette. I can't believe that I found this at the Goodwill bins. I came to the bins as I am wont to do, and I got there like 10 minutes into a turn. So it's not like I was the first person to come across this, and I don't know how no one else picked this up. I literally walked up to the bins and one of the first bins I looked in had this dress and I literally like pulled it out of like the bottom of the bin. I literally said out loud, "Are you shitting me?" And then I promptly like stuck it at the bottom of my basket and like folded a sheet around it because I was like, I don't want anyone else to see this in case anyone knows what it is, because the Goodwill bins in New York can get crazy. People will grab things out of your hands. So that's the long-winded story about how this came to be in my life. It was like $2, but then I paid, I think like 10 or 13, I don't know. I paid less than $15 to get it dry cleaned. So in total, this was about $15 and I could not be happier. I found this dress. I was trying to explain to people in my life, like, you don't understand. Like I found like the Betsey Johnson Y2K fruit dress and the milkmaid cut, which is like the one that I had always wanted. Immediately knew what it was because like in my brain, this print of Betsey Johnson Y2K dress occupies the same amount of real estate in my brain as I imagine the founding fathers take up in like the brains of like old white American men. It just fits me in a way that makes me feel like the prettiest girl in the world, and isn't that what we all want? I only worn it outside of my apartment one time because I'm like so scared of damaging it or God forbid something happens to it. I don't know how long I'm gonna edit this down to, but I've been talking about this dress in circles for like 15 minutes, so I'm gonna move on. I hope that anything I said was coherent. My next favorite of the summer is wearing my hair sort of half up, half down, kind of like I'm doing right now, but specifically with large bows from Shop Earth Angel. I mentioned her shop on here before, but I just love the bows that Shop Earth Angel makes. I have one on right now. I want to show you the back of my head, but like I'm like pretty sure it's not centered, but can you see it? I also have this one and I just bought two more because I wear these almost every day now. I'm growing out my bangs and they're at a really awkward and weird length and they don't want to cooperate literally at all. And the only thing that makes me feel like my hair looks even remotely okay is wearing one of these bows. She makes all of the bows from like upcycled textiles. And I, first of all, love how sustainable that is. Also love to support a small business. And have you ever seen anything cuter in your life? I also just bought two, as I just mentioned, I think. I'm gonna put them on screen. I'm so excited to get them. And yeah, I just think that the half up, half down look with like my bangs at the length that they're at is really flattering. And I'm also growing out my hair just generally, and I'm really excited to be able to style it in a lot more ways. Well, I keep thinking, I'm like going back to bump its, if you remember, which I barely do, but I feel like I'm like, I get it. It's kind of nice to have a little poof at the back of your head. I've also been getting a lot more into Pinterest recently. I'm gonna put my on screen and I'm gonna have it linked in my link tree. Something I've been seeing a lot on Pinterest are like novelty buttons, like buttons shaped like, I don't know, shapes and like that have like a pattern on them. And I don't own any right now, but I have been wanting to buy them, and I would say that that is a favorite of mine right now, even though I don't own any. In particular, I've been looking at a lot of like lots of novelty buttons on eBay. I've been watching a lot of them and I'm like, I don't want to spend $30 on like 100 buttons or whatever, but I kind of do, and they're all really cute. And yeah, I'm like definitely gonna cave at some point. I don't know if this is a trend that people have been like talking about. I just keep seeing it without like anything being labeled like button core. I don't know what it would be called, but just buttons as an aesthetic I think are really cute recently. I also think that they're just like a really easy way to like upcycle your clothing. I say this as if I have done it, but I just think that it would be a cute and easy DIY to do, and I'm definitely gonna try to like thrift some cardigans or something that I can like replace the buttons on. What a small little detail that's just like, oh, love that. I'm gonna put examples on screen, hopefully. We'll see. Next favorite that I have is estatesales.net. In particular and relatedly, the women that go to estate sales. I went to an estate sale that I found on estatesales.net in Connecticut, like either last month or the month before. And there was a giant room full of scrap fabric, and you could just like fill up a plastic bag with scrap fabric for $5. And I was filling up kind of a tiny bag because they had just like bags, and I just picked up whatever the first bag was. And one of the older women that was there came up to me and was like, you should get a bigger bag. And she handed me, I don't know if you can see it, this giant Kmart bag. She was like, this bag is bigger and you'll get more bang for your buck vibes. And I was like, I love community. And while I was filling up this giant bag, which I'm gonna show you some of the fabric scraps that I got because that is totally my shit. If it's not, fast forward, I guess. But I was like browsing all the fabrics, and I overheard someone being like, oh, I'm looking for corduroy. Has anyone seen it? And I was like, oh, like I found some corduroy over there. It was just like a beautiful little community of people interested in scrap fabric, and I thought it was lovely. I'm gonna pull out some of my favorites, although kind of everything I got was perfect. And I don't know if this is gonna appeal to anyone, and I don't even really sew. I just make textile art, but yeah. I'm gonna do with it yet, but I'm gonna do something with it, and owning it makes me very happy. I got a bunch of like lace. Okay, this one is absolutely my favorite. It's this like quilted little deer print. I could truly just cry. It is so cute and kitschy. I'm absolutely in love with it. There's like so much here that I can't even show. There was this like fully like hand embroidered thing. I can't show all of it, but like there's so much cute fabric in here. Also, how could you forget this red and white polka dot? It's very Lana Del Rey, I don't know, vintage Americana vibes. But generally, estatesales.net, I just try to check it like once a week, and I usually filter by like distance to see where is close to my apartment and where I can get to without owning a car. But yeah, I love just like browsing estatesales.net, even looking at estate sales that I can't go to, which is like actually truly torture. I just think it's fun to see what's out there. Anyway, if you've been meaning to get into estate sales, maybe you've seen them on TikTok like I did before I started going, would highly recommend checking out estatesales.net because it's like pretty easy to find things near you. I'm picking up like twigs off of my leg that somehow made it on there just now. My next summer favorite is sort of like, I would say, an interlude because it is sort of not a tangible thing, but it's just like stars. And I don't mean astrology, although I guess, but I was in Italy and I was there with my boyfriend. And one night we were really like bored, so we just started looking up at the stars because we were kind of in like rural Italy. And there was like no light pollution, and we were looking up at the stars and we were like, oh my god, do you see that one? Like they were starting to appear more and more because the sun was going down. They started to appear and like the sky started to darken. Okay, this is so like a beautiful little narrative. But as we were like looking up at the stars, he was like, is that the Little Dipper? Like looking up at the constellations. And by the way, who the fuck came up with the name Little Dipper and Big Dipper? Because that's the cutest thing I've ever heard in my life. I think that looking up at stars, not to be like whatever cliche, but it's just kind of amazing that they're up there and that we like have little names for them, and like we're like, look at that little shape, that's fucking adorable. And it's not something that I get to think about a lot because I've lived in New York for almost 10 years now, New York City. But yeah, stars are awesome. Yeah, that's right, me mansplaining stars to you. And the concept that we live in a very big universe and we're just so little, and girl, I need to like really run through the rest of this video. I feel like I'm not making any sense. Looking at my little list on my phone, the next thing that I have to share is a song, Summer Song by Remy Bond. I had only discovered her recently in the context of watching a TikTok video that was like, people might say that she's just trying to copy Lana, but it's okay because she's doing it the right way. And I'll say this, whatever she's doing, copying Lana Del Rey or not, just works. And it just feels very like vintage Americana, like I'm at like a summer fair, whatever. I have heart-shaped glasses, blah, 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 blah. It is a good vibe for the summer. And if you like Lana Del Rey, would highly recommend checking out that song. I'm sure that her other songs are good too. Getting up to get the next thing, even though I really don't know if you need a visual. And now my legs are really hurting because they've been in a weird position. And by that I mean crisscross applesauce. And I, at the tender age of 26, cannot sit that way for that long anymore. Anyway, the next thing that I wanted to share, my second to last favorite for the summer, is this sparkling water. I feel like an old beauty guru. Is it focusing? No. It's in the flavor yuzu with ginger. This is the most refreshing drink you will ever drink in your life. I'm out of breath. My dentist is somehow watching this. Don't get mad at me. 2 dentist visits ago, like maybe like 2 years ago, I was at the dentist getting my annual teeth cleaning, and my doctor was like, do you drink a lot of sparkling water? And I was like, yeah, but why? And she was like, I can tell. And I was like, oh. Well, I don't like that very much at all. Apparently drinking sparkling water, you're supposed to like drink a plain water with it to like rinse the bubbles off your teeth, which like what? I'm not a scientist, I don't know, but apparently it's bad to just drink sparkling water. And the last thing that I have to share in my summer favorites is honestly kind of boring, but maybe skincare girlies will find it useful. And it is the Nivea Water Gel Sunscreen in the SPF 35. I don't know if they make a different SPF, but this is the one that I have been buying, and I put it on every morning, and if I'm going out a lot during the day, I reapply it. But yeah, this sunscreen is awesome, and it doesn't make me break out. And I had been using Elta MD for a tiny bit because my dermatologist recommended it, but it was so expensive. And one day I was bitching about it to one of my boyfriend's friends, and she said that she uses this sunscreen, and I checked it out. Since I've been using this, I haven't broken out basically at all. It feels truly like nothing going on your skin. It's absorbed in like seconds. I'm not even exaggerating. And yeah, it doesn't leave any film or anything. This sunscreen is awesome. I think it's like a Japanese product. I'm like showing you the back of the bottle that's all in Japanese. I'm like, I think it might be like a Japanese product. Pretty reasonable given that this lasts me for like, I want to say like a few months. And it's like, I want to say like $15. Thank you so much for watching. I have a feeling that this is like a pretty chaotic video, although I haven't edited it yet, so maybe I can turn it into something even remotely coherent. I enjoyed chatting with you guys, and I'm excited to get back into making YouTube videos, hopefully more often. We'll see. But anyway, thank you so much for watching and for being here and for listening to me yap, if you will. Anyway, bye!